Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. I'm Jackie and I create sea glass mosaics, and today I'm going to talk to you about my tree of life. So I made my tree of life on a really beautiful old antique church window, and this is a window that hung in the church in my community where we have our cottage from 1879 to 2015. So it was a really old frame, and I was quite fortunate to get a hold of it. So to make this one, I decided I would do a trunk of a tree all the way up the middle of the frame, as you can see. And just a few things I would point out about this one. I used really big chunky pieces of brown for the bottom, and then as I went up the tree, the pieces of sea glass get a little bit smaller and maybe a little bit closer in color. So you can see in the bottom that some of the pieces are quite rough, and it really adds a lot of texture to the trunk of the tree, which I was fairly happy with. And then I just used smaller pieces of brown for the branches going out from the trunk. And then as you go up the tree, the trunk gets narrower and narrower. So one of the things that I really wanted to do when I was filling in around the tree was make flowing lines of sea glass. So you can see that here I did like flowing lines, and it's somewhat abstract, sort of coming up to a bit of a flower and then a line going around here. And then over here the same, some flowing lines of white and green and aqua, and I have some lavender in there as well. Just to add some interest, and it makes it much more interesting than if it was just kind of all green in the background. And these are, the white lines are just meant to be kind of stuff that's growing up in the underbrush. And here you can see a bug in the air and then kind of a line of sea glass coming out from the bug. And here there's more lines that kind of follow and end up in a flower. And here I put in a couple of pieces and a flower on top of that and another little bug right there. So what happens with all of these extra details is it really draws you in to look at different details in the piece and makes it much more interesting. And here I included some pieces of pottery, another little line of green with a blue on top, and a bit of a bird or a bug or some sort of flying creature, and a bit of a flower coming out of the branch. And over here I have another sort of bug or bird of some sort, and some flowers floating right in the air. Here's another one here with a red piece right in the middle. And there's some flowers within as well. So within the white, if you look closely, you can see some flowers. And then up in the top section, I put a couple of bigger pieces just for interest, kind of like clouds off in the distance. And some other interesting pieces of sea glass that if you look close, they just kind of draw your attention in. And there's also a little line of rocks here. So it's not really meant to be exact, it's just more fanciful and adds some interesting details with lots of different beautiful pieces of sea glass that you have to look very closely to notice. And that's my tree of life. It's important to sign your work, so you can see on this piece I put a label on the back which tells the origin of the frame, and it also says that it's me that did the sea glass by Jackie Trimper. So thanks for joining me today and listening to me talk about my tree of life. This is one of my larger pieces, and I hope that it provides some inspiration for you in creating your own sea glass mosaics. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them. And check out my website at jackietrimperseaglass.com.